coding games the king of all professions. They say. For Tong An, it's just survival. He loves messing with players. So he secretly coded tons of hidden maps into the company project. It's his petty revenge against a boss who constantly docks his pay for no reason. Even his coworkers treat Tong An like trash. Completely clueless about his secret project, they have no idea he's about to become the one holding this entire world's fate. Everything changes when a mysterious, blinding light floods the office out of nowhere. Tong An and everyone around him get sucked straight into the game world he created. He figured, as the creator, the system would at least give him a legendary start, maybe buff his stats or something. But nope, the system dumps him into this mess. He's stuck as a weak merchant, carrying nothing but a chipped, rusted kitchen knife. In this world, everyone wants to be a priest or a warrior. Warriors are total beasts. They adapt to any timeline and pack serious power. Priests are just there for support. Merchants are great at gathering resources and crafting gear. But honestly, they're useless in a fight. And since everyone wants to be a fighter, the system just rolls for class. Most people get their roles assigned totally at random when they log in. Plus, the new world game Tong An built has these super rare secret classes. You only unlock them by taking a very specific 2000 and Cittery hidden path. Tong An looks around the room from the computers to the office desks. It's identical to his real-world office. Suddenly, a notification pops up. The system is pushing his first quest. If he doesn't accept, it forces a start in 5 minutes. Wait, does this mean the game actually became reality? Everything he coded is still here? If his hidden traps and Easter eggs still work, he's basically going to rule this world. No more debts. No more being a pushover. This is his chance to completely change his life. He's about to go big. But the system isn't giving him much time to celebrate. 4 minutes and 53 seconds left. The pressure is on. Right. He remembers something crucial before finishing the first quest. He can reset his class. He's aiming for one of those secret, overpowered roles he built into the game. He stares at that pathetic chipped knife in his hand, feeling a bit hesitant. But hey, he's here to be the boss. He's going for it, no matter the cost. A notification pops up. Time to accept your first mission. If you don't take it, 5 minutes left until auto start. No way. Did this game just turn into reality? If that's true, does that mean my hidden eggs and pens still work like before? If they do, I could actually become the ruler of this world and finally ditch all that debt. This is incredible. My golden ticket to a whole new life. Can't let myself get too cocky though. System shows the timer. 4 minutes and 53 seconds remain. Tong An suddenly remembers something critical. Before the first mission, if he dies, he gets a chance to reset his character class. He's gunning for a specific, rare identity. Looking at the knife in his hand, Tong An feels a wave of hesitation. But, for a future worth living, he's willing to risk it all. 2 medals appear, matching his new chosen identity. Tong An slams the blade straight into his own gut. The system prompt flashes red, HP dropping fast. It keeps ticking down until the message hits. You have died. Then a glitch. System error, cannot verify player status. Respawning. Time to generate a new identity. Creating new character. Tong An is back in. But the mission timer is ticking. 4 minutes and 43 seconds left. Tong An managed to exploit a bug in this new world perfectly. But he checks his stats and lets out a long, tired sigh. A priest? He shakes, ready to kill himself and reset again. He tries for a new identity, but gets a combat class. Tong An doesn't care. He keeps ending his life. The system keeps pinging with new titles. He just keeps on, dying over and over. 30 times now. The system warns that in 11 seconds, the mission begins. Congratulations. You have received the merchant class. Tong An is beat, flopping onto the floor. Is this it? Am I really stuck being the unluckiest guy alive forever? Suddenly, he glances at the office window. He thinks to himself, one last run. Make it count. No hesitation. He sprints, smashes through the glass, and falls, plummeting freely from the high-rise building. Only 4 seconds left on the clock. Tong An is tearing toward the ground. He curses his rotten luck. Why is fate so cruel to him? He just wants a life that isn't rigged by someone else. 2 seconds left now. Tong An screams out, "Just give me this one win, please." Let it land. Boom. Dust and debris blast everywhere. The system, too, chimes in. Tong An is wiped out, preparing to recreate his character and status one more time. The timer is down to 1 second. This is his final shot. His body begins to heal and stitch itself back together. He is resurrected. But the internal damage is brutal. He coughs up a mouthful of blood right there on the ground. The system pings. Character generation complete. Tong An successful. Random identity applied. Mission: survive. New achievement unlocked. Iron Rookie. A rare alert pops up. Congratulations. You earned combat and legendary gold tier merchant classes. Tong An slowly wakes up. Surrounded by a swirling golden mist, he looks up. 2 medals appear. Glowing in the air, they match his new status. He actually pulled it off. He makes his choice. Tong An's move? Wait. Is he kidding? That's a solid wall. Seriously. Talk about being totally untouchable. This ultra-rare dual class in the game. It's all in the hands of the ultimate hacker. Tong An, from here on out, he doesn't have to fear a single soul. He checks his stats and this Iron Rookie title. Honestly, who knew dying would unlock an achievement, but wow. That suicide hurt. Tong An looks over his new character sheet and realizes just how broken his new dual class really is. As long as he racks up enough deaths, he's got a comeback. The system notifies him that this skill set is, for Tong An, honestly, kind of insane. Right? But even with such a powerful skill, those glasses of his are completely ruined now. He mutters under his breath, the game is just too realistic. To the point where even his nearsightedness won't clear up. Luckily, only one lens is smashed, so he can still see. Hey. Suddenly, the system alerts him that monsters have been added to the map. Danger ahead in the forward sector. Please stay alert. Hearing that, Tong An doesn't even care. Isn't he rocking a dual class? Those monsters are basically just free experience points for him anyway. But just as Tong An is still busy, being full of himself over his new powers, a massive tremor suddenly shakes the entire area. All those cocky thoughts vanish in an instant. A tiny, cute little monster suddenly appears, right in front of Tong An. To be exact, this is a Demon Commander Extreme Danger level, level unknown. The Demon Commander opens up its razor-sharp maw, getting ready to blast Tong An with one shot. Truly, talk is cheap when you're about to get wrecked. From the Demon Commander's mouth, a massive beam of energy surges forward, flying straight at Tong An, ready to log him out of existence immediately. Good thing for Tong An. He moved fast, or he would have been history. From now on, he won't be talking any more trash. His current mission is to stay alive until the 1 hour countdown hits 0. And listen up. Don't because if you do, the system won't revive you again. Back at the game development company office, hurried footsteps and smoke fill the air. In the hallway, a guy is panting hard, running in his legendary flip-flops. It's Tong An, and he's being chased by a pack of monster minions. He's running for his life, completely out of his mind. First the boss punches him. Then the small fries bully him. Luckily, Tong An manages to dive into the building just in time. Even the Demon Lord couldn't squeeze through, given its massive scale. But those little devils, they just wouldn't let up. Look out, a level 15 minor demon is charging straight at him. It lunges, swatting Tong An aside with brutal force. He loses his balance, crashing hard into the ground. Lucky for him, his fighter class gives him the reflexes to bounce back. But honestly, without a weapon, he's sitting duck against this pack. Suddenly, a familiar voice rings out, screaming for help. Tong An recognizes it instantly. It's his boss. His expression twists into pure disgust at the monsters. They have no clue what that voice is even screaming about. Turns out, his boss and a coworker are being chased for their lives. They spot Tong An ahead and start running their mouths. Still not eaten yet? That useless guy really has 9 lives. Tong An glares, annoyed they're being hunted by monsters and still trash-talking. Right then, 3 more devils seize the opening. They lunge for the kill while Tong An is distracted. And just like that, All 3 humans are cursing and sprinting for dear life. Even now, the boss is still barking orders, calling Song An useless. Song An snaps back. Doesn't he think he's trying to come up with something? Suck a dense idiot. Searching his memory, he knows there has to be a safe room nearby. He scans every single wall, eyes darting from room to room. Then he spots it right there on the wall across from them. He shouts at the 2 deadweights trailing behind him. They stare at him, confused, completely failing to follow his lead. Seriously? That is a solid wall. Did your brain finally break? With a loud thud, all 3 of them tumble straight through the wall. The monsters slam into the solid surface, completely missing their targets. Now, watch this. The system confirms they successfully reached the safe room. They're all drenched in sweat, gasping for air. Outside, the little devils are baffled, unable to grasp how the humans just vanished. Because they're in the safe room, the monsters can't even see them. Song An finally starts to explain exactly what this place is. Has he totally lost his mind? With a heavy thud, all 3 of them slam straight into the wall. The monsters miss their strike. System notification clears. All 3 have successfully entered the safe room. They're drenched in sweat, gasping for air. Meanwhile, those little demons can't grasp how humans just vanished right before their eyes, precisely inside the safe room. They're invisible. Tong An and the 2 deadweights beside him are safe. Tong An speaks up, explaining the situation. 2 paths, 2 different directions. On one side, Tong An, this safe room monsters in the game literally cannot track this spot. And get this, Tong An built this sanctuary himself right at the spawn point. He made it so the newcomers would have a little room to breathe. Safe rooms are a classic trope, basically essential in any game like this. They're used to reset a player's stats or just to keep them alive. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a girl shows up. She calls out Tong An's name, and the second he turns around, she lunges forward, throwing her arms around him in a tight hug. Tong An recognizes her immediately, an old friend from the past. They start trading quick, heartfelt questions, catching up in the chaos. But Tong An is still confused. How did Tai Hugh even get in here? Seeing them so close has his coworker green with pure jealousy. And yeah, it makes sense. Tai Hue is the company hot girl. Everyone around knows exactly who she is. She explains it right then. Tai Hue was the person Tong An consulted. When he was coding the safe room, he asked her for her input. So naturally, she knew the exact coordinates of the hideout. Tai Hue adds that since there weren't many monsters outside just now, she managed to guide everyone into the safe room without much trouble. Still, the group looks totally drained, just staring at the floor. Their whole world just vanished, replaced by this twisted game. Even their expressions are looking darker, more hopeless by the second. Tong An scans the faces of his colleagues, thinking to himself, these people, they definitely aren't the ones who built this game world. Then, in the middle of that heavy silence, a voice cuts through. It's sharp, piercing. Why are you all so depressed? Aren't you the ones who made this? The bald boss points a finger right at them, shouting at the top of his lungs. Stop moping. Why don't you just hurry up and shut this game down? A bunch of useless hacks. He's dumping all the blame on his staff. Then, his face shifts, showing that pathetic, greedy side again. My company, my money, you're all just ruining my profits. Everyone starts to push back, trying to get a word in against him. But before they can even finish, the bald boss erupts again. He's screaming, threatening to fire every single one of them. I honestly don't get why they're still acting so timid around him. Even with this arrogant jerk acting like a total tyrant. Tong An, he isn't even paying attention to the old man's rant. He turns to Tai Hue instead, eyes focused. Did you see anyone strange or run into anyone else out there? Tai Hue tilts her head back, searching through her memory, trying hard to piece together exactly what she saw. The coworker in the red shirt steps up, face serious. He answers Tong An's question with a sharp, pointed look. You mean, are you talking about the non-player characters? In this game, NPCs hold tons of secrets and vital items. If we track them down, our chances of survival jump. Just finding the right one could turn everything around for us. If we play this smart, we might actually make it out alive. The group starts buzzing with excitement at that news. But are they all blind or something? They're completely missing it. A little girl is standing right there, bold as day, in the crowd. She even has a massive quest marker floating right over her head. One of the designers pipes up, trying to recall her name. He says the first NPC is named Lee something. But he blanked. Lee Thu-sia gets absolutely furious at his incompetence. She corrects him. Her name is Lee Thu-ka. You idiot, she snaps at the adults, asking if their brains are rotting. Everyone finally realizes the kid with them is the actual NPC. The guy in the red shirt shouts that she is the one. He claims if they just boost her affection, they get rewards. Thu-ka hears that and lets out a scathing scream at the fat guy. She tells him not to try anything funny with her. The guy is clearly intimidated. This lolly has a serious temper. Even she is coming on a bit too strong for them. Tong An is completely at a loss with an NPC like this, but Tai-hyu keeps her cool. Speaking to the girl with genuine kindness, she tells the little one she thought she was just a lost child. Tai-hyu is just relieved that the girl is safe and sound. Surprisingly, Thu-ka actually acts sweet toward Tai-hyu. She thanks her for bringing her to the safe room. That saved Thu-sia from ending up in real danger. The girl reaches into the bag on her back with a smile. She clearly wants to offer Tai-hyu a special gift. Thu-ka pulls out a compass and grins at her. She says this is exactly what she wanted to share. Instantly, the system triggers, granting Tai-hyu a minimap. The guy in red starts pointing and gloating loudly. Pay attention, he told everyone the NPC had the loot. It is a compass, but it is also a map. This is exactly the kind of advantage they were desperate for. Tong An is shocked that Thu-ka can just manifest a map. This is a massive, game-changing form of assistance. He knows this will be vital for future dungeon raids. Tong An starts plotting to get Thu-ka on his side. He needs her utility for the harder boss fights ahead. Meanwhile, the female colleague decides to make her move. She sneaks over to Thu-ka, hiding something in her hand. She is ready to bribe the girl for her own benefit. The coworker holds out her hand, hoping for a deal. With a sugary grin, the female coworker holds out 3 candies. She speaks to the little girl with such a fake, syrupy tone. She offers the candy, asking if she can have the map in exchange. But deep down, she still thinks this is just a naive kid, convinced that a few sweets are all it takes to buy her off. But things don't exactly go the way she planned. Thu-ka doesn't even blink. She just sticks her tongue out. She calls her a fake, manipulative witch right to her face. The coworker is absolutely fuming, but she's completely stuck. And the little girl isn't done yet. She keeps twisting the knife. She mocks how the woman ran like a coward just a moment ago. Now she's acting all sweet. And Thu-ka hates that fake attitude. She calls her out for being a total green tea, acting all innocent. The woman snaps, daring the kid to say that one more time. Another colleague rushes over to hold back Mrs. Tran. Thu-ka screams at the whole heartless crowd, letting them have it. She reminds them that when they ran off, nobody cared about her. And now, they think they can just take the map? Never. Her opinion of them has hit absolute rock bottom 0%. Song An's colleagues look on, completely helpless and lost. They realize they have 0 chance of winning this kid over. Suddenly, a harsh voice cuts through an old guy barking orders. The balding man stands right in front of Thu-ka, looking mean. He tells them to quit arguing and just take the map by force. Seriously? That guy is completely heartless and lacks any moral code. He lunges toward Thu-ka, not caring that she is just a child. This really freaks her out, making her stumble backward in terror. She shouts at him to stay away, her voice filled with panic. But the balding man is way too fast to let her escape. He grabs the backpack right off her shoulders with a brutal grip. He yanks at it with all his might, trying to rip it free. The jerk yells at Thu-ka to dump out everything she is hiding. Before he can finish, he gets a reality check from Song An. A heavy fist slams right into the guy's face. That punch hits so hard he spits blood across the ground. Stunned, the old man lets go of the backpack instantly. He loses his grip, and the bag falls away from the girl. The NPC looks on, shocked by the sudden turn of events. Tai-hyu sees Thu-ka stumbling and rushes to catch her. She pulls the girl into a hug, shielding her from the chaos. Song An yells right in the face of the shameless old man. He calls him out for being pathetic, attacking a helpless child. He is sick of him acting like a bully to get his way. Song An warns him that this is not the old world anymore. He tells him loud and clear there is no reason to fear him. That old bastard just took a beating, and now he's spitting fire. Tong An couldn't care less. The bald boss turns to look at Thu-ka, who's already tearing up. He tells her it's just a fictional game anyway, why even bother worrying about the feelings of an NPC? Tai-hyu is still trying her best to comfort poor Thu-ka, but it's too late. Than's favorability just plummeted to -100. Thu Ka breaks down completely. 2. Streams of tears just won't stop flowing. Then the system chimes in, announcing to everyone that the NPC favorability hit 0. Triggering a penalty. Don't think NPCs are easy to bully. Messing with my people earns you a brutal punishment. Doesn't it? Next, the system declares the safety room will lose its protection. This is bad. Seriously. That bald boss is nothing but trouble. He's really managed to ruin everything for everyone. The safe room starts to vanish right as Thu Ka cries. Everything's over for them now. Meanwhile, the system keeps blasting danger warnings. The group inside realizes how dire things are, and panic begins to set in. In just 30 short seconds, they're all going to be dinner for that horde of imps. The bald boss sees the scene unfolding and finally realizes the one behind all this is none other than our guy Tong An. The guy in the red shirt is panicking, thinking his life as a bachelor is ending right here. Even Tong An is sweating, staring out into the distance at a swarm of imps, eagerly eyeing the desperate, defenseless people trapped inside. Right after, a demonic hand, paired with a sinister grin, smashes right through the wall. Only 24 seconds left for anyone to make it out alive. Thu Ka is still sobbing uncontrollably. The colleagues who look down on Tong An are left with absolutely nothing now. Tong An is deep in thought, weighing whether to lure the monsters away or let everyone die, including his close friend Tai Hue and little Thu Ka. If he can grab the item inside this building, those 5 imps would be nothing to him. But the real challenge is just finding a way past them right now. Just as he's hesitating, a massive hand appears right behind Tong An. The pathetic, bald boss is back at it, screaming his lungs out. Tong An, get out there and buy us some time. Barely a word out, he slams his hands into Tong An, shoving him hard, sending him flying right out of the room. Tong An glares back at the traitor, pure venom in his eyes. Then, the swarm of imps surges forward, a sea of claws. One of them lunges straight for him, desperate to drag him down. Tong An sees the hand tearing through the air toward him. He thinks, well, this is it. Today's the day I die. Boom! The ground explodes, debris flying everywhere in a cloud of dust. Tong An is gone. Just like that, vanished into the chaos. Tai Hue screams at the bald man, watching her friend get pushed. Why did you do that? You just sent him to his death. The old man keeps his cool, insisting if Tong An lives, they all die. He has no clue that Tong An is the hero of this story. Just then, a voice cuts through the air, calm, steady, clear. Tong An calls out, telling Tai Hue he's still in the game. His warrior status gives him a major boost to his physical stats. He took the hit, but his body held up better than expected. He yells for her to stop worrying and run with the crowd. Just make sure to take Li Thu Ka. She matters to us. Then, he turns, sprinting away to bait the imps elsewhere. He's buying time, just enough for them to make a break. 4 seconds left on the clock, and Tai Hue won't leave him. The guy in the red shirt blocks her. No time left to argue. The countdown hits 0, and Tong An roars at them to move. Get out of here. I'll hold the line and carry this team. They don't hesitate, bolting for safety, running for their lives. They split in 2 directions, heading into the unknown. On one side, Tong An is out there pulling aggro like a legend, protecting everyone, while that ungrateful crowd only thinks of themselves. Little Li Thu Ka looks back as 5 huge figures chase him. She whispers her thanks, hoping a small gift might help him out. Suddenly, a notification flashes across Tong An's vision. Thu Ka's favorability just spiked, hitting 60 points. And with it, Tong An just landed a map from her hand. Plays it cool, drawing monsters away to protect everyone. On the other, just a bunch of ingrates only looking out for themselves. Among them, the NPC girl, Li Thu Ka, watches Tong An, who is currently being chased by 5 muscular guys. Thank you so much, brother. I hope this small gift of mine can help you. Suddenly, behind Tong An, the system displays a notification. Thu Ka's favorability has jumped up to 60. Tong An receives a map from Thu Ka. At the location, she holds Thu Ka close, eyes glued to the map. She leads everyone toward the nearest elevator. Guess good deeds really do pay off. This is exactly the perk Tong An wanted most. Who knew a game NPC could be more helpful than actual people in the real world? It is honestly getting hard not to feel pumped about life inside this game. Tong An shouts at the system, and the map finally pulls up right before him. The display shows it all. Tong An is being hunted down by 4 demons. Only one of them peeled off to chase after that other group nearby. And the office room he is actually looking for? Turns out it is pretty close. Right when Tong An is busy kicking himself for not noticing it sooner. He keeps checking the map. Wait. He already ran past the entrance without even knowing. Man. He really is hopeless sometimes. Not wasting a second. Tong An slams the brakes, pulls a perfect 180. He barely manages to dodge a swipe from a little devil in his way. Then they swarm him, throwing punch after punch straight at his face. And here is where it gets ugly. He drops his guard for 1 split second. One of those demons sees the opening and absolutely wrecks him with a punch. The impact is brutal. Tong An actually spits up blood from the force. He cannot do much else but take the beating for now. But in his head, he is already planning to skewer every single one of them. Finally, one of the demons catches him with a hit that sends him flying. He slams hard into the wall, dust and debris going everywhere. While Tong An is stuck fighting for his life against these small fries, the group of coworkers nearby is in their own kind of nightmare. They have got a little demon dogging them too. And it is catching up fast. One of them is already down. And the guy in the gray shirt is sobbing. It is brutal the next second. A clawed hand punches straight through the guy's gut. Talk about instant karma. That bald boss is shaking like a leaf, watching them drop one by one. The colleague in the red shirt is screaming his lungs out in pure panic. Only 30 minutes left on this survival mission. How are they supposed to last? The little demon just grins, looking at the survivors with this sick, twisted joy. It is still clutching a body in its hand like it is nothing. Tai Hu is holding Thu Ka tight, eyes locked on her map for a way out. She points everyone toward the nearest elevator. No time to waste. They take off, running for their lives as that vicious little monster keeps chasing. Even with her own life hanging by a thread, Tai Hui has only one hope. She is praying Tong An can just survive and make it back to the lead. As for Tong An, he is barely hanging on by a sliver of his health. Without a second of delay, they scramble, running for their lives, under the relentless pursuit of those vicious little demons. Even though they're in total danger, the adrenaline is keeping them moving. It's a mad dash toward survival. Despite the danger, Tai Hui is only praying for one thing. She just wants Tong An to survive and get back to the main character. But Tong An is in bad shape. His life force is hanging by a thread. Tong An keeps spitting up blood. He's in a seriously bad way. One light hit and he's done for, completely finished. But look at him instead of backing down. He's fearless. Tong An slowly wipes the blood away with his hand. He forces himself up, actually thanking those monsters for the hit. That punch sent him flying straight through the wall. Turns out, a hidden room was tucked away right behind it. From deep within the darkness, strange beams of light pulse out. They glow bright, swirling like some kind of ancient portal. The system pings hidden workspace activated. An AI is still working? Tong An slams his hand against the gate. No time to waste. He pushes forward, slipping inside as the little demons watch. Helpless, now he's inside the hidden office, leaving those pests behind. Not far off, a figure sits hunched over a computer desk. Looks just like an average office worker glued to his station. Tong An clutches his head, everything still spinning from the impact. He forces his eyes to focus on that flickering light ahead, right in front of him. A skeletal hand is typing away. It's hammering at the keyboard, working at a frantic, impossible pace. The clock nearby just keeps ticking, never slowing down for a second. That clock is weird. It doesn't even have a number 12, just a pile of bones, stuck in an eternal deadline loop. An NPC programmer who never sleeps, never rests, just grinds. Seeing those bones reminds Tong An of his own miserable past. Back when he was stuck, slaving away for that terrible boss. The skeleton finally notices the living human standing right there. Those hollow sockets just stare wide-eyed at Tong An. Wait. Look closer. The skeleton has no eyes, but it's wearing glasses. The skeleton flashes a wide, bright, and honestly creepy smile. It apologizes, asking if Tong An is here to hit the deadline. That skeleton just keeps clacking away with its bony fingers. Tong An steps forward, reaching out to rest his hand on a shoulder. Or well, he tries. There's barely any shoulder there to hold. Tong An grabs a pen. his movements smooth and practiced. The skeleton thinks he's helping, letting out a weary, bored sigh. It says the shift lasts until midnight. Since 1 o'clock. A tall, handsome 18-year-old kid turning into a pile of dry bones. The skeleton keeps whining about the endless workload. Non-stop, Tong An stays quiet, just listening while he messes with the clock. That's his play. He's using the pen to draw a 12. Talk about a total game hack, figuring out the answer early. He holds up the clock, ready to break this entire cycle. He pulls out a pen and starts writing right on the watch face. 12. It feels like cheating knowing the answer beforehand, doesn't it? After that, Tong An holds the watch high up toward the sky. He calls Skeleton over and shows him the reflection. Skeleton stares at his own body. Well, whatever he has left, he can hardly believe it. Not that he has eyes, but you get it. I mean, no eyes or nose. Yet somehow his face is screaming shock, since he isn't shackled by deadlines anymore. He just loses it. Skeleton straight up flips the table. Pure, unadulterated rage. He is absolutely fuming, and he starts cursing out whoever forced him to work for so long. Working day and night? Yeah. He's definitely not doing that ever again. Tong An watches the whole scene play out right in front of him. He's shaking, honestly. Pretty terrified. If Skeleton ever finds out Tong An is the creator, man, his future is looking real shaky. Then the system dings, mission accomplished. Energy starts surging around Tong An as a circle appears. Skeleton's body begins to fade away into nothingness. He looks at Tong An, satisfied, saying he left his entire fortune. He hands over his old skeleton and some gear, then vanishes. Just like that, he's gone, dissolving into thin air. Tong An looks at his old self, a faint smile on his face. The system announces he earned a hyper-durable programmer skeleton, and something else, a pair of hidden black glasses. Now these are actually pretty broken. You equip these, you get immunity to blindness and hide your stats. Tong An then grabs the only thing left, that creepy bone. Looking at this bizarre skeleton in his hand, it is weird. I mean, it spent decades sitting in a chair, grinding away. That's why it's so incredibly tough, way stronger than a normal person's. It's built different. Totally verts average bone density. The lore is wild. But Tong An does not care about the history. He jumps straight into his skill menu, ready to get to work. He grabs the programmer skeleton and an iron stone blade. Trying to craft a bone blade, and the odds? 99%. You and I both know those are basically guaranteed stats. The system asks if he wants to fuse them, obviously. Yes. Boom, flashes of light everywhere. And just like that, it appears right next to Tong An. A massive B-rank bone blade, looking absolutely lethal. Attack power is 75, that is no joke. Plus, the passive skill ignores 30% of enemy defense, and against demons, it deals 10 times the damage. Tong An is loving these stats. He's grinning ear to ear. He grips it tight, ready to hunt down those little imps. They bullied him, and he's going to pay them back in full. Outside the hidden room, those monsters have no idea what is coming. He's still staring them down, just waiting for Tong An to show himself. A sudden flash of light, one of those things slams hard into the ground. But look closer. It's not him. That's just a Khan's computer. And right behind it, that's Tong An. He slowly lifts his knife, ready to strike where it hurts most. He's got this wicked grin on his face. He slashes. The monster lets out a gut-wrenching scream of pure pain. But honestly, that was just a scratch. Nothing serious. The creatures are livid now, feeling like they've been cheated. They swarm Tong An, and he's honestly confused. Why did his damage output spike 10 times over? But this little devil is still standing. He barely dodges their counterattack, deciding to figure it out later. Tong An checks his own low HP, staring at his knife in total disbelief. Is the system playing tricks on him? Suddenly, the blade flickers with a crackle of electricity. Demon Hunter mode activated. That's an extra 700 damage against the little devil. Then, right under the spot where Tong An landed that cheap shot, a light flares. Boom. That little guy is officially meeting his ancestors. Turns out, the damage bonus was delayed. Plus, the system just dropped a notification. Tong An leveled up to 2. His health is fully restored. Man, that feels good. Meanwhile, the other devils see their buddy get sent packing, and they lose it. They're staring Tong An down with pure rage. All 3 of them charge in, looking like they want a family reunion too. Tong An sees they're eager to meet their ancestors, so he's happy to oblige. But facing 3 at once? That's going to be a rough fight. Still, that's not enough to stop our handsome hero. He immediately darts into the shadows, hiding away. Those monsters can't even lay a finger on him now. The devils are fuming, calling him a cheater since they can't even reach him. Then, from the darkness, a high-end blade emerges. Tong An launches it, landing a perfect strike on one of the fiends. The devil cries out in joy, practically cheering to be heading for the afterlife. Seeing only one got sent packing, Tong An decides to stick to the shadows. He plans to take them out one by one. The devils catch on to his plan. One of them lunges straight at him, practically begging to be next. He plans to enter the room and take each monster out one by one. The little demon sees what he is up to and charges right at him. It wants to finish him off before he can even make a move. Tong An gets snatched up fast. He strains every muscle, trying to rip free from that imp's grip. The last little freak comes rushing in too, hungry for a piece of the action. Realizing the spot he's in, Tong An pours everything into his blade. He splits the imp's arm clean off, sends him packing to the afterlife. Then he lunges straight for the final one, but he gets smashed with a heavy blow. The force hits so hard, it almost knocks Tong An straight to the lobby, but when he got hit, he managed to shove his knife deep into the imp, finished him off right there. A flashy blast goes off. Tong An levels up, and his stats get a full refresh. He never thought he could pull a Flora and handle all 4. Just one more to bag that mega kill. Then back to the crew, back at the elevator. Everyone's scrambling, clawing for survival. The guy in the red shirt looks at the bald boss. Seriously, you asking which floor we're headed to? Never heard such a dumb question. The boss gets hot, cursing him out while jamming the button for the first floor. Taihyu checks the map, sees the monster count finally dropping, thinking Tong An shook them off. She tells the group to wait. If only she knew. He's the one wrecking that whole swarm. The ungrateful crowd doesn't give a damn about Tong An, telling Taihyu his only job is to die for them. That's his duty. While they're arguing, another monster jumps in on the fun. It wants to pry the doors open and crash the party, but everyone kicks it back. Pissed, the imp starts smashing the elevator, only to find out there's nothing left inside. Just empty space. Right when it's still seething, a voice rings out, calling the imp over. With one clean slice, Tong An skewers the 5th imp, finally secured that mega kill. He says it cold. You want to scrap with anyone else? Fine. Touch Taihyu? You die. Seems Tong An got here a step too late. The group already cleared out for the lower floors. The system pings, says every imp on the 4th floor is gone, wiped out by Tong An. Hearing that, he feels let down. I mean, that's it? How is that enough for our guy to farm some real levels? He checks his stats. Tong An just hit level 5. Everything is feeling way stronger than before. Every level up grants a point to every stat, plus 3 extra to spare. With Collett's helping out, he dumps all those free stat points. His warrior stats, they just shot up by a solid 16 points. This guy is basically hacking the game. It's honestly not even fair. These are just the points he banked from leveling up. By the way, Tong An moves fast, plugging every gap in his build. Finally, he can breathe. His stats look decent now. He is officially stronger than your average person. At least. Suddenly, the ceiling of the office building starts cracking wide open. Debris is crashing down everywhere, and Tong An has no clue why. He just scrambles to get out, stay here, and he's toast. Literally. One wrong move, and he's sent straight to heaven. Tong An barely dodges, slicing through a massive chunk of concrete overhead. Then it hits him. The Demon Lord boss is still outside. This is bad. And Taihyu is in serious trouble out there. A fireball with massive destructive power is plummeting toward the ground. It hits with incredible force, slamming right into the street. Just like that, a few people are wiped out in an instant. Everyone managed to escape the building. But the danger isn't over. A real nightmare is waiting for them outside, blocking their path. The group just stands there, feeling completely helpless against certain death. Compared to the Demon Lord, those minor devils are just flies. The guy in the red shirt is frantic, pushing Taihyu. He needs that map open now as their only chance to run. She doesn't hesitate, calling up the system interface immediately. She opens the map, but the look on her face says it all. She just saw something absolutely terrifying on the screen. The map can't even find a safe route out of here. The demon lord towers over them, roaring down at the tiny humans. The bald boss is so terrified he loses all composure. Realizing there is nowhere to run, he breaks away from the group. He tries to make a break for it alone, hoping for a miracle. Bad move, he just grabbed the demon lord's full attention. The beast's jaws glow with dark magic, locked onto its target. One blast of pure power vaporizes the villain on the spot. It happens in the blink of an eye, not even a trace left behind. Total annihilation. Seeing that gruesome display, everyone loses it, screaming in pure horror. Even Tai Hui and the guy in red are frozen, totally stunned. The red shirt guy realizes the demon lord has a cooldown on that blast. He shouts for everyone to move, run for your lives right now. If they don't get out, they are all dead meat. But he yelled way too loud. The demon lord heard him. It whips its head around, staring straight at Tai Hui and her partner. In the heat of the moment, she loses her footing completely. She clips a rock, and suddenly, both she and Thu Ka are exposed. She hits the dirt hard. Her legs go jelly. She can't even move an inch. She has no choice but to beg her coworker for help. Thu Ka is already out cold, and Tai Hui has a badly twisted ankle. Running is totally off the table now. She makes one tiny, desperate wish. Just have that guy in the red shirt carry Thu Ka, get her to safety, but the look on his face? He has zero intention of helping. He just stares at the vile commander demon. It's closing in, ready to strike right at them. He doesn't care about anyone else. He just wants to save his own skin and bolt. That fireball keeps screaming toward Tai Hu. She's helpless, just waiting for the end, clutching Thu Ka. But then a bone blade flies in, intercepting the attack. It smashes straight into the commander's blow, blocking it cold. You know exactly who it is, our main character. The handsome demon hunting prodigy himself, Tong An. He roars out, get lost, all of you. His damage output spikes 10 times over. He completely nullifies the fireball blast. Tai Hu realizes she's still breathing. She whirls around, tears streaming down her face. She doesn't even feel her own pain anymore. After staring death in the face, these tears, they're pure relief. Tong An is alive. He wasn't the dead man those cowards promised he was. Tong An looks ice cold, facing down the commander. He apologizes to Tai Hu for being so late to the party. Then he raises his blade, telling Tai Hu to stay steady. Leave the rest to him. He's taking the wheel now. People get hurt. Sure, but you dared to lay a finger on my Tai Hu? Your time is up, Commander. Tai Hu's injury starts swelling fast. Our guy sees it instantly. He rushes over to check if she's holding up okay. Tai Hu whispers she's fine. But look at her. She's still just terrified for Thu Ka, who's been unconscious this whole time. He figures the poor girl just panicked and passed out. Nothing more. I mean, how did Tong An get this impossibly cool all of a sudden? Tai Hui still can't believe he can actually take down a commander class. She begs him to run away with her. Tong An just says no, he's got a plan to show this boss what true pain is. Then, he calls out loud, Ton Knots, stop hiding in the shadows. So, Ton Yak is the name of that red-shirted coworker. He's been cowering behind a bush this whole time, not even a few meters away. Ton Yak is the guy in charge of operations here, but Tong An is still shouting, no point hiding. Ton Knots, you're dead anyway. Why not go out in a blaze of glory? He doesn't even let the guy talk. The Demon Lord Commander instantly launches a massive fireball straight at them. This hit is even stronger than the last one. And honestly, Tong An is struggling just to hold it off, bones aching under the pressure. He screams at Ton Nok, move your feet or we are all dying here. You're the only one left who can do something for Tai Hui. I'm tied up. Man, it's all on you. Ton Nak listens to this lecture, feeling the weight of it. Finally, it clicks. He realizes the truth and charges head-on at the boss. Seeing Ton Nak is ready to roll, Tong An doesn't waste a second. He tells him to grab a branch and draw a circle around Tai Hu. Make it big, the bigger, the better. Wait. What? Drawing a circle? Ton Nak is speechless. He thinks Tong An is just messing with him, but Tong An snaps back, messing with you? We have zero time for jokes. Ton Nak pulls out a branch, shouting that he's doing this for Tai Hu, definitely not doing it for Tong. And this guy still finds time to play hero. Finally, the circle is drawn right around her. Just like that, the system pops up with a notification. Egg activation complete, and it specifically needs a ton to draw the circle. The reward? the great sage's anti-monster ring. Tong An is stunned seriously. How does that even work? Basically, this thing makes anyone inside the circle untouchable for 10 minutes. It's exactly like that classic Journey to the West scene. You know the one. Tong An looks satisfied as the great sage transforms into a tiny monkey. The monkey hops onto Tong An's head, blowing a trumpet. Even Tong An's face starts morphing into a monkey. It's part of the egg's effect. As the creator of the circle, he becomes Sun Wukong. Now he's out here taunting the monsters, making sure they only target him. The great sage toy takes a deep breath and starts blasting that trumpet. Anyone want to come out and play? That noise is perfectly baiting the Demon Lord Commander. Look at the boss's face, he is absolutely losing it. He locks eyes with Tong An, totally furious. Tong An is screaming in despair at his new monkey face. Honestly, this guy is headed straight for his ancestors. Tong An takes a deep breath and readies himself for the chaos. Anyone else want to play? He taunts them with a grin. The noise from the toy mocks the demon leader perfectly. That leader is losing his mind. Glaring daggers right at Tong An. He screams out in pure, unfiltered despair toward Tong An. Looks like he is headed straight to meet his ancestors today. Luckily, Tong An is quick. He yanks Bao Doi away from the danger zone. Bao Doi is still in a daze, barely realizing how close he just came to dying. Tong An explains the plan. Tong An just needs to bait the beast. All he has to do is keep it distracted while Tong An moves in for the kill. Tong An isn't buying it. He snaps back that the thing is way too fast. There's just no way to block an attack with that much power behind it. Hearing that, Taihu quickly jumps in with a smart reminder. Tong An just has to dodge when the monster opens its massive maw. That is the perfect opening timing, is everything here. He is terrified, honestly, but he already abandoned Taihu once today. No way is he going to make that same mistake twice. Just as things get intense, that little monkey starts blowing his horn again. Tong An jumps out of his skin and screams at the noise. Meanwhile, Tong An is locked in, ready to charge into the fight. The demon commander is losing his mind. That monkey won't stop with the music. He prepares to unleash another burst of hellfire. But something about the technique looks off strange. On Evan, a spark of static electricity crackles in the monster's eyes. A split second later, that foul-smelling mouth erupts. A massive wave of fire blasts out, covering an insane range. It swallows Tong An and Tong An in a sea of flames. Tong An watches his health bar drop fast. He takes one last look at Taihu, looking like he's saying his final goodbyes. But inside her barrier, Taihu is actually doing just fine. She notices something vital. The fire covers a huge area, but lacks real power. It is not a one-hit kill after all. Tong An doesn't even care about the heat. He is dead set on his target. He launches himself straight at the demon commander. He swears he is going to end this monster right here, right now. His hand lashes out, sending that bone blade flying. It strikes true, dead on target. It looks like a solid hit. But why isn't the monster even flinching? Fine. He decides he will just pile on a few more hits for good measure. Whack. Whack. Whack, but wait. Why is it staring at him like that? That look is honestly pretty creepy. Thank goodness the monkey is still blowing that horn. Now it is making mocking sounds like it's straight up roasting the beast. That monkey is fully sentient at this point. Furious, the commander unleashes a breath of fire from his unwashed mouth. He aims that massive blast straight at the cheeky monkey. Tong An can only offer a thumbs up to his tiny friend. He has to make this count. He is not wasting a second. He dives in, unleashing a flurry of rapid-fire strikes. He taps into his demon hunter status to stack the damage. Every single blow is hitting harder than the last. One clean strike, and the demon loses its footing. It's forced down on one knee. Even with that heavy hit, taking down this Dark Tojo isn't that simple yet. The damage he dealt? It's just a scratch. Not nearly enough to finish this monster off for good. Enraged by that sneak attack, the foul-mouthed Tojo spins around. Its target is fixed now. Tong An is in serious trouble. Tong An screams out, begging Tong An to draw its focus. If he doesn't, they're finished. There's no one else to carry this team. Seeing Tong An panicked like that, Tong An just smirks. He's still bitter about how Tong An left him to get chased by those beasts. But Tong An keeps playing his little tune, completely unfazed. Suddenly, the Akma lashes out, snapping at Tong An and drawing blood. He jumps back, heart pounding out of his chest. That was way too close a hair's breadth from meeting the afterlife. Thankfully, Tu Hu is there guiding him, keeping his reflexes sharp. That's the only reason he's moving this fast. Even then, he doesn't know when to quit. Taunting the monster for more, he's actually goading the beast to keep attacking. Acting like he's got it all under control, listening to his master. The monkey roars with everything he's got. Strange glowing hands manifest in the air all around them. Tojo has had enough. It's completely lost its mind in a blind rage. It's ready to fight to the death with Tong An. Tong An starts yelling for Tong. And hurry up. He can't hold this much longer. He's literally running out of time here. Even with the Monster Hunter's bonus damage kicking in, this Tojo is a total tank. Absolutely ridiculous how much it can take. Tong An is slashing away. Arms growing heavy. But the beast just won't drop. Meanwhile, Tong An is still in the thick of it. The Akma's energy orbs are relentless, raining down on him. Damage multiplier hits 617 times. Then it jumps to 622 times the damage. Then 31, 36, and finally 39 times the power. Tong An pushes every ounce of strength he has into his blade. The hit count skyrockets to 41 times, and then 42. The system chime rings out loud. The Demon Lord is finally wiped off the map. Everyone is completely drained, staring at the massive corpse left behind. It's a gruesome sight. The beast is literally split in half. Tong An leaps up 3 levels from that kill alone. Tong An gains 4 levels. But his time is running out. His monkey summon is fading away right before his eyes. Tong An stares at the dissolving figure, swearing he never wants to see that face again. You and I both know that thing was an absolute nightmare to deal with. Even with the boss down, Tong An feels like something is still off. Something is wrong. The real boss is still out there. That boss is both a tank and a nightmare. We've been hacking at it forever. Wait. Why no loot drop? Suddenly, Tong An spots something strange. An orange glow pulses right beneath Tozo's horn. Tong An stares, eyes locked on. It looks like something truly special. Everything shifts as the system notification flashes across the screen. Monsters in the area? Wiped out. All of them. The survival quest is finished way ahead of schedule. Because of that, Area F has finally unlocked. The boundary restrictions are gone. And inside, Area F looks like it's been completely torn to pieces. Tong An is hyped, itching to head out and see the world. But Tong An stops him. We need to scout this out before rushing in. Then, out of nowhere, a girl appears, with white cat ears, looking suspiciously cute. She starts to speak. And here is where things get interesting. Keep watching. I can't believe the level 40 boss, the Demon Lord, got taken down. How did you guys even pull that off? Meow meow. She chirps, following the voice. The 3 of them look up. Hovering right there is a tiny girl straight out of an FBI watch list. She introduces herself as GM. The guide Raphael. Wait. Why does that name sound familiar? Like that slime anime character? Anyway, she's the game's spirit. Raphael is here to congratulate them for clearing the quest early. She adds that Tong An's team is officially the first to pass this trial. This was already on Tong An's mind. There had to be other players out there, similar to them, but with a massive difference. One side consists of the game's creators. The other side? Just clueless people trying to survive this new world. Still, Raphael is baffled. How can mere newbies be this overpowered? She's suspicious, wondering if they're cheating or hacking the system. But Tong An just gives her his most honest, innocent face. It's just pure luck, he says. We just happened to find some good gear. Raphael doesn't buy it, leaning in close to probe him for answers. But there's no way he's spilling his secrets to an NPC. Just as the tension peaks, voices echo from the distance. It's the nasty female colleague and 2 others. They finally found their way back after getting lost. And man, they're still bickering non-stop. Look at Tong An, face to face with Tong An. He probes to get a better look. But this is something he just cannot reveal to anyone else. He cannot let Raphael know. Even at this intense moment, suddenly, voices call out from the distance, breaking the silence. It is that nasty colleague of theirs with 2 other people. They finally found their way out after being completely lost. Even now, they are still busy bickering with each other. Seeing Tiu Mai, Tong An asks how she is doing. But her response, it's just a screen full of complaints and straight-up insults. She claims Tong An's squad should have ascended ages ago, and that is putting it mildly. Just then, she spots the spirit Raphael floating mid-air. She points, looking totally confused at the sight in front of her. Even Raphael, who's never met someone so stubborn, is left speechless. So, the spirit just introduces himself as Raphael. Suddenly, Raphael looks super hyped, ready to hand out rewards. Everyone completed the mission, and he's eager to deliver the goods. The system pings survival mission complete. 10,000 star coins awarded. Right away, a massive heavy bag of coins appears in everyone's hands. And believe me, that pouch is absolutely massive. Raphael explains that star coins in this new world are key. They are everything here, the only way to trade for gear. Plus, you actually need these coins to level up your power. Then, Raphael drops another hint. Even merchants with 0 strength can climb high. Why? Because in this game, it is all about the capital. Talk about a pay-to-win reality. Tong An stays silent, face stern as he runs the numbers. If money equals strength, doesn't that make his golden merchant title broken? He thinks to himself, time to start cashing in. But then, the group has no idea where to go next. They turn to Raphael for some guidance on their next move. Raphael just beams back at them, telling them to hold on. Wait just a bit longer, and it will all make sense. Tong An is still totally lost, just giving him a confused stare. Suddenly, the system announces the demons are pulling back. Every player is safe. The threat has finally passed. Sectors A through Z are officially unlocking, one after another. Turns out, Tong An Sector F was so OP they cleared ahead of the server. According to the plot, everyone held their ground against the demons. The royal capital even managed to send reinforcements just in time. They pushed the demon army all the way back. Now, the main objective shifts to the Call of Destiny. Even with the demons gone, the chaos caused a chain reaction. All sorts of other monsters are starting to rise up. It is a total mess out there. Players need to find the commander NPC in their respective sectors. That is the only way to pick up new quests for themselves. Every single player gets the alert from the server. Raphael is buzzing, telling everyone the priority now is simple. Just grind for levels. Nothing else matters right now. People are wondering how to track down these quest NPCs. Raphael just points out the quest marker will lead the way. Tong An figured the reward wasn't really worth much right now. He decided to level up first and worry about the rest later. Suddenly though, he remembered something actually important. He quickly asked everyone if anyone had a healer class. Tong An explained that he was currently stuck with a warrior class. He couldn't help Tai Hui fix up her sprained ankle. Deep down, he knew he had to keep his real skills hidden. No sense drawing attention or starting trouble over nothing. Tai Hui could see Tong An was genuinely worried for her. She tried to fight through the pain, acting like it was fine. But Tong An just looked at her with pure concern. Meanwhile, everyone else was stuck with different classes too. Not a single healer in sight. Some were even left to struggle alone. As for Tai Hui, she was also just a warrior. She couldn't heal herself, and nobody had spoken up yet. Tong An was getting restless, wondering how they could be this unlucky. Suddenly, a voice broke the silence. It was his coworker. And get this, the guy actually had a healer class. This man was Lu Nianjia, and he slowly knelt down. He got ready to treat Tai Hui right there. A green light shot from his palm directly toward her foot. Her shaking leg instantly started to heal up like new. That is the signature move of the healer class healing. Simply put, it restores wounds for anyone nearby. It drains 3 mana points every 10 seconds of use. Honestly, it is an incredibly convenient skill to have. Tai Hui felt all that pain vanish into thin air. She thanked Lu Nianjia for the help. Sun Yue stood to the side, shocked by such crazy power. He couldn't help but marvel at what he just saw. Little Mei jumped in, trying to recruit the guy for their team, because he wanted to impress her. Sun Yue agreed immediately. Everyone else wanted in on the group too. Just as Lu Nianjia finished, Tai Hui looked desperate. She begged him to use his skill one more time. You see, Li Shuya was looking really rough right now. Her face was twisted like she was in total agony. Lu Nianjia didn't think twice and agreed to help out. He shot that green light out again, wrapping Li Shuya in it. But the next second, the system hit him with a hard reality. It straight up banned him from healing this non-player character. Tong An does not overthink it and quickly agrees to the deal. A blue light erupts from his hand, enveloping Li Thuke entirely. But the very next second, the system slaps him with a harsh reality. Healing this non-player character is strictly prohibited. It warns him. The 6-man group gets shoved aside. Tong An watches, baffled. The situation makes no sense. Did the system just glitch out? Suddenly, a notification pops up. NPC Lai Thu Ka is acting strange. Her body is starting to show some really bizarre symptoms. Tong An. Blood boiling. Screams at Raphael. He demands to know exactly what is happening to Thu Ka, but Raphael just looks lost. Like she has no clue where she is. She thinks to herself healing NPCs is allowed. So why the error? Maybe there is some hidden secret buried deep inside this NPC. Out of nowhere. A weird spatial rift tears open in midair. A voice echoes out, calling for Raphael. Turns out, that is her master. Raphael looks genuinely panicked. Why is her master here right now? To Tong An. It just looks like Raphael is sitting there talking to thin air. The master orders her to bring NPC Lai Thu Ka back immediately. No scenes. No big commotion. Just get her out of there. Raphael does not dare to talk back. She just keeps nodding along. Thu Ka is fading fast now. Blood is leaking from her nose and mouth. Tai Hu is losing her mind with worry. Raphael flies over, telling everyone that this NPC is special. She claims the system is affecting Thu Ka move her wrong. She dies. Raphael shouts that she has to take Thu Ka away right now. She swears they have a way to heal her properly. Raphael holds out her four-fingered hand, casting a teleportation spell. Tai Hu is begging her, trusting Raphael with everything. Tong An stays dead silent, watching it all unfold. A watery circle of light pulses, surrounding Thu Ka. Her body slowly lifts into the air. Raphael says her goodbyes, promising to help whenever they need it. Just as she is about to leave, Tong An yells out her name. He needs a favor, which scares the life out of her. Raphael actually lets out a startled meow. Tong An looks her dead in the eye, intense and serious. He asks if she knows who turned their world into a game, but all he gets in return is silence. A barrier quickly forms around Thu Ka, shielding her inside. Raphael slowly lifts the girl's body up into the air. She politely excuses herself, ready to take her leave. She promises to show up whenever they run into trouble again, but just as she is about to vanish, Tong An shouts her name. He needs to ask her for one more favor, and it is urgent. Raphael is so startled by his sudden outburst, she lets out a confused meow. Now watch this, things get serious in a heartbeat. Tong An stares her down and demands to know who turned the world into a game, but she only gives him a cryptic answer that leaves him guessing. That falls outside Raphael's jurisdiction. She really cannot say a word. She drags Thu Ka through the portal without looking back. She doesn't forget to warn everyone, you better get stronger. Do it now, or you're dead. Then she vanishes, leaving them all stunned in her wake. But Tong An knows better. Raphael is hiding something. The truth is buried deep. Everyone is still lost, wondering why the system gave them nothing. Not a single piece of gear. Not even a scrap. The group huddles together, trying to figure out their next move. Tai Hu asks Tong An if he wants to join them, but he's already set his sights on somewhere far too dangerous. He can't take them along. He couldn't keep them safe. It's too risky. He needs to move alone this time. Tong An plays it cool, claiming he has other important business. But he knows the truth, the main missions give pathetic experience. To hit the next level, he needs real danger. Tai Hui is genuinely worried. Going alone? That's a death sentence. She knows better than anyone without the team. You're toast. Seeing her concern, Tong An just smiles and reaches into his inventory. He pulls out something special, just for her. A necklace. It's got this massive, unblinking eye staring back. He's sure this will keep her safe when things go south. Tai Hu freezes. She knows exactly what that is. Orange grade. Rank A gear. The Eye of Akma. It's a top-tier relic, shaped perfectly for a necklace. It summons Akma's power to whip up a massive fire shield. The defensive stat? 150. It drains everything, though consumes all your stats for 2 hours. It has a special trick. 2. It can morph into a weapon. But here's the catch, where this, and you can't equip any other weapon. Finally, it has the Akma contract. Trading power for a price. Knowing Tai Hu, she'd never take a deal like that. She believes in working for what she earns, not cutting corners. But Tong An was already 10 steps ahead of her. He knows how she thinks, so he plays it off smoothly. He tells her it's just a loan, take it. Don't worry about it. He even throws in a jab about her unreliable entourage. That hits a nerve. Tun Nak is fuming. Tong An doesn't care. He shoves the necklace right into her hand. He tells her it is just a loan, so she should feel free to take it. With a smirk, He insists she keep it for now. Tong An then hints that Tai Hui might not be safe with such a useless crew. Tun Yak is absolutely livid as he shoves it into Tai Hui's hands. He is finished dealing with them and just wants to end this. Even though he acts shy, she gently takes the gift and blushes, thanking Tong An. Right after, Tong An tosses the entire pile of star credits he just earned to Ton Hacks. He tells Ton Nok to keep every single reward. But the necklace must go to Tai Hui. Seeing all that cash, Ton Nok instantly turns obedient and listens to Tong An. Before leaving, Tong An drops a real bomb, telling Ton Nok to stop bothering Tai Hui from now on. Tai Hui finally started to feel a bit of warmth toward him. But Tong An just shut that down. Ton Nok is absolutely fuming, completely speechless. Tong An just waves goodbye to everyone and turns to leave the area. His back fades into the distance, leaving only a worried look on Tai Hui's face. Tong An reaches a new area, but it doesn't look any better than the last one. The streets are trashed, and everything lies in ruins. After the demon leader's attack, Tong An expected the outside world to be beautiful. He never imagined it would be this deserted, but he is still holding on to his doubts. He keeps thinking about Raphael. She was muttering to herself in the air earlier. If she is right, where did his original world disappear to? He's got 0 leads. His head is still spinning. But suddenly, the shopping center appears right in front of him. Forget it, he thinks. Let's worry about the big questions later. For now, he needs to head inside and loot everything he can get his hands on. Time for a quick breakdown on the monsters in this new world. There are 2 main types you need to watch out for. First, you have the wild ones roaming the streets weak. Low-level trash. Killing them is just a basic requirement for new players to level up. They eventually respawn, only to get hunted down all over again. But beyond those weaklings, there is a much darker threat. You have the bosses lurking deep within the underground city. Monsters in the underground city drop much better, rarer loot than the surface mobs. Plus, that city produces natural minerals used to craft top-tier gear. But listen, the danger is just as high as the rewards. The stronger the monsters, the more they pack together, cranking up the difficulty. That is the real deal when it comes to the underground city in this new world. This new world splits every monster into 2 distinct types. First, you have the common trash roaming the outskirts. Weak skills, low levels, and barely a threat at all. Killing them is just part of the grind for every player. Essential for leveling up. They respawn, then get farmed again. Honestly, their only fate is to get jumped and destroyed. But beyond those weaklings wandering the open zones, look here, you have the absolute bosses lurking in the underground city. Monsters deep down there drop way better, rarer loot. Nothing like the junk you find in the outside fields. The underground is also packed with natural minerals and ores, perfect for crafting top-tier gear, if you can survive the trip. But watch it, the danger matches the massive reward. The stronger the zone, the more elites swarm together. That intense difficulty spike, that is the heart of this world. Getting wiped out in this world happens in the blink of an eye. You have to be careful whenever you reach the shopping plaza. That holy pair of flip-flops Tong An has worn for 5 years, they're finally falling apart, completely shredded. But in a place like this, who's short on footwear anyway? In no time, Tong An grabs a new pair and slips them on. He even swipes a set of clothes from Manor Can and puts them on. Man, look at that, he just doesn't care. That shirt alone is worth 3,999 yuan. That's like 15 million Vietnamese dong just for a shirt. Who cares about the price tag when you're looting? But get this, a brutal fight went down right here, leaving total chaos behind. Tong An stares at all the money scattered across the table. Honestly, it's all worthless trash in this twisted world. But a faint smile creeps onto his face. He starts frantically stuffing all those valuables into his inventory. Just look at his item list hitting that max stack of 1999. Our guy has definitely been busy clearing out everything in sight. Yet, his crystal currency balance is still sitting at 0. Then, out of nowhere, a mysterious portal appears right next to him. It's the Crystal Cave, a dungeon at level 12 difficulty. It's meant for a squad of 5 to 10 people. Not one guy. Seeing Tong An walk in alone, the system starts screaming warnings. It's asking if he's sure. Since the danger level spikes for solo players, it gives him a choice: enter or turn back. But Tong An is already locked and loaded, so he doesn't hesitate. He steps into the Crystal Cave, and the scale is massive, huge. Towering rocks surround him in every direction. Even Tong An is caught off guard by how majestic this underground city is. Everywhere he looks, red quartz crystals are glowing and sparkling. Without a second thought, he snaps one off for himself. He smiles, staring at the stone, imagining a future paved with gold. But out of the shadows, a dark figure creeps closer. It's a rat, but wait. What kind of rat is that? It looks way too big for a normal creature. Tong An senses the danger immediately, snapping his eyes toward the threat. He's fast, easily dodging the creature's sudden lunging attack. He just didn't expect these monsters to find him this quickly. The beast has paws embedded with red quartz, forming its limbs. It's massive, and it's clearly not a regular pest. This is a crystal rat, coming in at level 11. Sure, it's nothing compared to a demon overlord, but it's still trouble. The little guy isn't just some pest, he is the Yenten rat, a level 11 beast, though compared to the demon commander, he is just a tiny mosquito. Getting that ore means getting past that thing first. But Tong An doesn't hesitate, he just cracks a sinister smile. He reaches straight into his item inventory and pulls out a flashy gold ring. He actually starts baiting the little rat with it. The second that rat sees the gold, its eyes light up like high beams. It doesn't even have time to get aggressive. 2 seconds flat, that's all it takes. This thing really values money over its own life. As soon as it sees something shiny, its brain just checks out. Tong An tosses the gold ring right to the rat. It scrambles forward, hugging and sniffing the ring like crazy. Its eyes literally turn into little hearts. Tong An creeps up behind the distracted rat. He puts a blade to its throat before it even knows he's there. So greedy, one slash and the rat is spitting blood. Down it goes, stone dead, but it only dropped 88 experience points. Still, this method works to take them out, as long as they don't swarm him all at once. He's good. But knowing Tong An's luck, things are about to get complicated. In the very next second, hundreds of eyes blink in the dark, followed by a terrifying chorus of squeaks. Why does he suddenly feel a chill down his spine? Is he really this unlucky? This is looking like the end. He turns around and his face goes pale. A whole swarm of them charging in to tear him apart. They want revenge for their fallen brother. Tong An panics, frantically opening his item bag. He's about to be toast if he doesn't hurry. A mountain of gold and jewels spills out onto the ground. The rats flip their attitude faster than an ex-girlfriend when she spots cash. It's just a lot of X's to deal with. Giving each one a gold bar is going to take forever. Plus, these guys don't know how to queue up. Tong An is running for his life out there. He's barely keeping up with his monthly quota at this rate. These gold-obsessed rats are squinting in pure joy. Everywhere they look, it's just gold. They don't want to kill Tong An anymore. They're in love with the loot. But Tong An isn't here for the small fry. He's hunting for the big boss. He yells out, "Show yourself now, or I'm taking out your whole crew." He barely finishes the threat when a loud rumble shakes the cave. Before the words even land, a series of massive booms start shaking everything. A massive foot stomps down, shaking the entire screen. Look at that tiny mouse clutching a gold ring. One hit and it should be flattened like a pancake, right? Actually, no, he smashed right through the floorboards instead. The super mouse reaches out and snatches that ring back. He inspects the treasure with a look of pure delight. This is it, the 10-year level Rat King boss. I have been waiting for you to show your face. Time to spill a little blood, little guy. And get this, the bug mouse actually has a pouch. It keeps the head inside, then stares at its minions. A weird look on its face, almost intelligent. The other rats offer up their own hoards to the king. They look like they are about to burst into tears. The rat boss is loving this massive pile of gold. Tong An pulls even more treasure from his own inventory. He wants to bait them. Gold jewelry glinting in the light. Look at those eyes, they cannot resist the shine. Tong An tosses the loot right into the middle of them. Without a second thought, the whole pack swarms forward. They are scrambling to snatch up their precious riches. But Tong An pulls a bone knife from his stash. He slips behind the Rat King, preparing for a sneak attack. Tong An is feeling cocky. He took down a level 40 demon. This pathetic rat? He is not worried about a thing. He lunges, driving that blade deep into the rat's back. The creature lets out a sharp, painful screech. But here is the strange part. Look at the damage numbers. They did not multiply, just a flat 121. Even worse, the Rat King turns back with a chilling gaze. It lunges forward, claws flashing toward Tong An's face. The speed is insane. Right on top of him, Tong An barely reacts, raising his blade to block. But the force is too much. He slams into the wall. Only now does he realize he completely misjudged the situation. The bone knife only boosts damage against demons. Against a beast like this, that weapon is useless. Seeing their boss fight back, the minions swarm him too. Tong An is surrounded. These rats want his head. Talk about a tight spot hanging by a thread. Can he even survive a pack of these things? He cannot fight them all. And there is nowhere to run. The swarm of rats just keeps on coming. Our main character is really struggling to hold the line now. If he goes all out, can he even clear the room? Dealing with these punks is just a numbers game for them. If they run into the boss, they are getting absolutely wrecked. Total annihilation. No chance at all. Meanwhile, the biggest rat just stands there, watching Tong An. A creepy, calculated gaze, and just like that, the rat is gone. Tong An gains 88 experience points. But his eyes snap upward. He spots a massive, towering cliff face right above him. He gathers all his strength, ready to make a desperate leap. He jams his blade deep into the rock and starts climbing. As the swarm of rats closes in, his feet spring into action. He launches himself high, leaving the pack helpless down below. They can only watch as he slips further and further away. Tong An is confused too. Wait. Since when can he jump like this? He hits the ground with a landing that is impossibly cool. Turns out, he has been dumping points into his agility. That explains the speed. But he has no time to celebrate. The rat boss is still right there, staring him down. Forget the stats for a second. It is time for a showdown. Just him against the Rat King. Like a high-stakes duel. With his 2 to 100 IQ, he starts scanning his inventory. The king rat starts moving, letting out a deafening, savage roar. It leaps straight up the cliff, heading right for him. Tong An realizes why it held back. It wants his gold. If the rat wants to play, Tong An is more than happy to oblige. He starts muttering, acting like he is placing a bet, and pulls out all his gold. The rat's eyes light up, glowing brighter than the sun itself. Tong An challenges the beast. If you can take it, it is all yours. The rat lunges forward, and Tong An is struck by a thought. Does the beast actually understand him? Or is it just obsessed with treasure? It does not matter. The king rat only sees the gold. It charges at him with terrifying, blinding speed. Tong An ducks, casually dodging the attack with grace. He taunts the beast again, promising to hand over the entire pile. Honestly, his generosity is on another level right now. The Rat King is practically vibrating, sprinting toward its fortune. It reaches the treasure pile with a massive, earth-shaking thud. Gold goes flying everywhere in the chaos. Nobody cares about what Tong An says. The Rat King just lunges. He launches himself at Tong An with blistering, terrifying speed. But watch this, Tong An barely moves. Just a light shift in stance. He ducks low, dodging that massive strike without breaking a sweat. Tong An even shouts out that he will gift all this gold to the Rat King. Seriously, how generous can one guy get? The Rat King is ecstatic, scrambling straight for his mountain of treasure. A huge crash echoes as he slams into the pile of gold. Silver coins are flying everywhere. But here is the weird part. Underneath that Rat King, there is some kind of strange liquid. It is pretty much soaking the entire pile of gold nearby. Tong An ignites a lighter, holding it to the bomb fuse. He explains that it is kerosene, drenching the whole area. In his other hand, a bottle of fire is already blazing. Watching the Rat King, covered head to toe in kerosene. Everything is ready for this show to begin. The beast steps on a fuel canister and loses its footing. Tong An doesn't hesitate for a single second. He hurls the fire bottle straight at the massive Rat King. The pool of gasoline catches the spark perfectly on cue, turning it into a 7-spice grilled rat feast. Wonder what that gold-crusted rat actually tastes like anyway. The Rat King is bathing in an intense, roaring fire. It's desperate. High-pitched screaming is honestly pretty pathetic to hear, but honestly, he does not care. And Tong An smirks. A sharp, triumphant smile spreads across his face. By the way, he made that bomb from a Putin vodka bottle. Just shove a paper rag inside, add a little flame, and you are done. Easy as that. But back to our grilled rat. Looking at this mess, Tong An figures that if the beast doesn't die, it is definitely going to lose a thick layer of skin. The Rat King rolls around, desperate to put it out, hoping that if it has to go, it won't be as a snack. It lets out a piercing, shrill shriek into the air, calling all its minions to rush in and help out. The useless crowd below finally catches the boss's signal. Tong An looks worried, realizing he needs to move fast. Gotta take out the boss before the others arrive. Otherwise, his entire plan is going to fall apart. Tong An lunges forward, gripping his weapon tightly. He charges the rat, but it stares back coldly. That look in its eyes is genuinely terrifying. Then it swipes a claw toward Tong An. A massive cloud of toxic black smoke erupts instantly. The dark mist covers Tong An in a heartbeat. But wait. This technique does not seem to deal damage. Tong An realizes it is just a crowd-control debuff. The thick smoke clouds his vision entirely. The system alerts him he is now blinded. His eyes turn gray. And things are looking grim. The blindness timer is ticking down from 11 seconds. The system explains the black smoke is a special skill. The Rat King's body suddenly radiates a dense cloud of black smoke. It hits everyone within 3 meters with a blinding status effect. 12 seconds. That is how long they are left in total darkness, even through the blindness. Tong An catches the system notification loud and clear. The system clarifies a brutal detail. Every hit landed adds 2 more seconds. 2 full seconds of blindness piled onto the timer with every strike. The Rat King is already hovering right behind him, silent as a shadow. Tong An knows this boss too well. It loves to ambush the distracted. He swings his blade backward on pure instinct, blocking the first lethal strike. Tong An is shocked it actually connected exactly where he predicted. But before he can even celebrate, a heavy fist slams into his gut. His body buckles as he coughs up blood, his strength fading fast. The Rat King is relentless. Ignoring the flames still engulfing its own hide, it lunges forward, determined to end this fight right here and now. One punch after another, raining down on him without a single pause. Tong An has no choice but to tank the hits. He is completely defenseless. And get this, the blindness timer just keeps stacking higher and higher. He might actually meet his end here. All because of his own reckless gamble. He charged in blind, thinking he could outplay the boss. But luck is not on his side. Instead of running clear, he zigzags right into the path of the beast. The Rat King sees his chance to turn him into roasted rat meat. It winds up for a finishing move, ready to log him out for good. A direct hit slams into his chest, sending him spitting even more blood. Honestly, it is looking like a death sentence for Tong An right about now. His health is critically low, and his eyes, still completely useless. The blindness isn't fading, if anything. The duration is climbing through the roof. He thought he was destined to be the top player on this entire server. But is it really going to end like this? Before he even gets started? No matter how hard he struggles, that blind status holds him firm. If he keeps taking hits like this, seeing his ancestors is a guarantee. Just as his head is spinning, the Rat King lands another heavy strike. It hammers into his back, launching his body straight into the wall. His health bar is flashing red down to just 2 points out of 300. The blindness debuff isn't fading, it just keeps stacking higher. Even the Mouse King can't seem to finish him off. He really thought he could climb his way up, aiming for that #1 spot on the server. But it looks like his journey's hitting a wall before it even begins. Seriously? No matter how hard he struggles, that blindness status sticks. It's not going anywhere. At this rate, meeting his ancestors is pretty much a guarantee. Just as Tong An's head starts spinning from the pain, the Mouse King hits him with another nasty strike. A heavy blow to his back sends him slamming right into the wall. His health bar is tanking. Now he's down to just 2 out of 360. Than is running out of blood. And if he doesn't use the egg he created himself, he's a dead man. But his hands, Tong An's hands are shaking, still hesitating, acting like they've got a mind of their own. The Rat King still has the strength to hoist a massive boulder high above its head, ready to crush Tong An into paste. Meanwhile, Tong An is completely lost in his own head. Think, man. Think. Tong An starts scrambling through his dual-class skills and all the loot he's collected. Akma's eye is already with Hu. So that's out. Akon's bone dagger won't even scratch this beast's hide. Is there really nothing left to turn this fight around? Wait. In his panic, Tong An digs deep into his memory and finds Akon's glasses. No way. This is his absolute lifesaver. He's wasted so much energy for nothing until now. He just barely dodges that boulder the rat threw, missing by a hair's breadth. Talk about a close call. Tong An silently thanks Akon for saving his neck. The Rat King freezes, staring at him, clearly rattled. It realizes its blinding effect has finally worn off. Tong An grips his blade, feeling a surge of confidence. With just a sliver of health left, he's ready to turn this rat into a feast. It all hinges on that secret effect he triggered earlier. It buffs every single one of his skills, doubling his power, but only for 3 minutes. The sudden shift in Tong An's aura actually makes the Rat King flinch. The beast is starting to think it should have run while it had the chance. The effect kicks in. Tong An feels raw, explosive power surging through every fiber of his body, ready to get served on a platter. You giant rodent, it's far too late to run now. The rat lunges in a blind rage. Tong An meets the charge head-on, moving at lightning speed, tearing a deep, jagged cut right across the beast's belly. He's calculating every move now. He's powerful enough to take down this Rat King for good. With his boosted stats, every movement the rat makes is in slow motion, but he can't get cocky. One clean hit from this thing, and it is game over for him. He can't afford even a second of hesitation. Tong An charges again, aiming his blade straight for the throat, but the beast is already countering. And even worse, one hit, and I'm basically dead. No room for mistakes. Can't let my guard down even for a second. Tong An charges again, blade aimed right for the throat, but it counters. That old trick, black smoke pouring out, choking the entire area. It's thick. Yeah. But he doesn't realize those glasses Tong An wears? They're a hard counter to that move. As long as he keeps them on, the smoke is totally useless. Tong An doesn't hesitate, he starts channeling all his power for one final crushing blow. Time to end it for that crafty Rat King. Back outside the forest, everyone's just stunned by what they're seeing. A whole pack of berserk monkeys, just losing their minds. They're being shredded by a single wave of energy. Ta Hui's work. Now, the monster corpses are just scattered all over the ground, thanks to that overpowered weapon she's wielding. She's unstoppable. Everyone traveling with her is soaking up all the free experience points. Honestly, that feeling of getting a reward without the work, it's addictive. Ta Hui's thrilled to be helping, so she calls out to them, "Hurry up and grab the loot." She says, "Keep moving, leave the rest of the fighting to me." The reason she's so strong is that massive scythe in her grip, embedded with a demon's eye, a treasure Tong An gave her. With that kind of gear, these small fry monsters aren't even a challenge. They're basically nothing. Even better, the whole thing can shrink down into a cute bracelet, makes it way easier for her to get around. The group looks at Ta Hui and starts wondering out loud, where could Tong An be right now? The guy in pink doesn't care. He's too busy grabbing divine fruit, kicking himself for not designing the drop rates to be just a little higher. But Ta Hui remembers Tong An headed for the underground city to fight, even though the pink guy is sure Tong An's already dead because of how dangerous it is down there. Ta Hui holds on. She trusts her crush completely. She can feel it. He's way tougher and more resilient than any other artificial intelligence. That is where we leave it for now. If you enjoyed the video, please show some love. Hit that like and share button. It really helps us keep the momentum going. And we will be back soon with even more epic stories for you.